and welcome to the third episode of the Night Owl Knits. My name is Katie, but you can also find me as Night Owl Knitter 15 on Ravelry and Instagram. Welcome! If this is your first time viewing, welcome. Thank you for stopping by. And if you have visited before, thank you for coming back. I'm so happy you have. So I am excited to continue podcasting. It is still a learning process for me, but I hope you guys will tag along in the journey, in the whole podcasting adventure. I've been excited all week to record, and finally Monday came and I'm like, yes, I can talk again. I guess I like talking to myself. I like talking to you guys, even though you're not responding back to me like a normal conversation. I look forward to creating some kind of friendship with all of you who take time to view. You can comment, create discussions, introduce yourself on my Ravelry group, and you can just search for the Night Owl Knits and you should be able to find me. I am really excited to get to know more people. One of the reasons I created the podcast was to meet new knitters, friends, gain some more confidence in myself. I kind of mess up words a lot, you'll learn, so just bear with me. So yeah, that's, two of the main reasons why I decided to try podcasting. Originally I started with a blog because I was too nervous to podcast. And once I got over that initial hump, I'm really enjoying it. The Night Owl Knits podcast is going to talk a lot about knitting, hence the title. But I'm also going to talk about just different things in life in general. I'm going to talk about TV, gaming, and just a variety of things. If you watched a prior episode, you'll know that I am a liver transplant recipient, so I will be talking about organ donation because I think it's important. I'm really excited because my iPhone updated last week, and with the new update you can register to be an organ donor straight through your iHealth app. See if I can pull it up quickly, because I think that's really awesome. Organ donation is, the reason why I'm alive, and there's so many other people who, sorry, there we go. There's so many people who need organs. There's so many people on the waiting list, and because I'm already registered, oh yeah, that's not going to show up. Never mind, sorry. If you have your iPhone, go to the health and settings, and you can register to be an organ donor. If you don't have an iPhone, that's okay, you can still register. DonateLife.com is a website that you can go and register. And I learned this just when I got my iPhone. Even if you are registered at the DMV, it may not reach like the whole nationwide registry. So it does not hurt to go to the website or the app to register. Okay, I am off the organ donation topic, at least for now, at least for this week, hopefully. Yeah, for this week. So I am going to now move into yarn related stuff. Who doesn't love yarn? I'm going to start with talking about my whips, work in progress. Told you I'm bad with words. Works in progress, if you're not familiar with whips. I am still working on the unicorn stripes. I did get further than the last time I saw you guys. Here we go. Last time I talked to you guys, I was about right here, halfway through this Flash Dance purple. And I'm using Madeline Tosh unicorn tails. So once I finished this Flash Dance, I moved on to the Firewood colorway, and I just love this. I have a pair of fingerless mitts in this colorway that I knit a few years ago, and it's just, I just love how just it's like a rust and purple. So I finished all of that, and about quarter way through the Marigold colorway, and this is another unicorn tail from Madeline Tosh, and it's this brownish, rustish color. So I'm about a quarter way through that, and I just can't believe how long this is getting. And I love that it's knit in the round, as you can see, because there's no purling, and I really am not a fan of purling. So that's about how far I got. Well, this is about how far I got since last time I recorded. I am loving it, though. I am loving that the little balls of yarn are only 52 yards. So I'm completing a ball of yarn fairly quickly, and so it just seems like I'm making so much progress. However, I'm not looking forward to weaving in the ends. I should be doing it as I go, but I'm just too excited to get to the next color. So I just kind of wing it, and at the end I'll have all these ends to weave in, like 44 different ends to weave in. That's a lot of weaving. But you gotta do what you gotta do, right? So I'm still also working on the Danish Forest. And this is a free pattern on Ravelry. Got it backwards. I'm using some prime alpaca that I got at Wisconsin Sheep and Wool Festival. You can see the lace pattern coming out, but there's gonna be so much more justice to it once I block the finished project. So that's this. I finished like 10 rows on it since I last recorded. I really wish I would knit more on it, but the pattern requires a little more concentration, and sometimes at the end of the day I just don't want to concentrate on anything. And I spent most of the rest of my day knitting on simple stuff. I casted on 2 new projects this week. I probably shouldn't have, because like I said, I have 2 longer term projects on the needles, but you know, these socks were calling out to me, and I knew I needed to get them done before next month, well, the end of next month, because they're going to be a birthday gift for one of my best friends. These are my best friend birthday socks. I am using some Frolicking Feet by Dawn Roving, and this is the Rose Hips colorway. I am knitting with 12-inch circular needles. I know a lot of people, when they do smaller circular needles, they do the 9-inch ones, and I start out with a 9-inch, just at the way bottom after I do the magic loop for the toe, just until I get a little more fabric that's easier to manipulate, and then I switch to the 12-inch because I find them to be easier on my hand. And so I decided to knit my friend's socks this year, because last year we went out to lunch a little bit after her birthday, and she tried to steal my socks. Jokingly, of course, but yeah, we were sitting at a restaurant and she tried to steal my socks because she liked them so much. So I love her so much that I'm going to knit her socks for her size 11 feet. Yeah, so these are the socks that I cast on, and I feel like I'm making good progress. I cast these on Friday as well. So that's my Socrates. And then I also, sorry, my loot tray is over there. I also casted on Friday this hat, and it's just a plain vanilla hat. I always use the Barley hat from Tin Can Knits as my guide to how many stitches to cast on. It just seems to work for me. And I'm knitting this. It's this Linny, I think that's it, Linny 157 yarn in the Tessa base, I think. My friend Sarah donated a bunch of yarn to me. And there's a few skeins of this stuff. What's in it? And a lot of the yarn is German, and I think that's awesome. Except I don't know the details on it, other than I know this is a worsted weight. And so I am knitting this hat for kids who are going back to school. The group that I knit it with on Saturday, it's the first time I ever knit with them, the Yarnians. They knit for different charities, and there's back to school where they knit hats, mitts, and scarves, and they also have another program where they knit for those the homeless. And I think those are very awesome things to give back to do for the community. So that's why I joined them on Saturday. Woke up earlier than I would like to, but it was worth it. I met a lot of really nice people. Yeah, so I am talking fast, but I'm having fun. Are you guys having fun? So now I'm going to talk about my loot. Things that I have gotten the last week or so. I will start with the yarny related stuff and then kind of wander off into the non-yarny but yet so much fun stuff. So the first things that I got, and these came together. I got this yarn. It's Regina, and it's a self-patterning yarn. You can see right here, you can see how the yarn is going to knit up. And I love self-patterning yarn. I love self-striping yarn. I feel like I knit them faster because I feel like I'm making more progress as something new comes up, a new stripe or a new pattern or whatever. So I'm excited to knit these into socks because that is what they will become, socks. I'm going to have to split it up probably just because I like having the even balls to know where I'm at. Maybe a little OCD? I don't know. So yeah, this is the Regina. Let's see if I can find the colorway. Yeah, I'm sorry, I can't find the colorway. Probably once I look at it more, I'll find it. I will plan on posting it in my show notes. So with purchasing some sock yarn at the yarn store I went to, I got this Softy hat pattern. Now it's actually a pre-pattern on Ravelry, so not sure why, anyways, that doesn't matter. Yeah, so the Softy hat is a hat knitted with worsted, or blah blah blah, excuse me please, knitted with fingering weight yarn. I haven't had a chance to really look through it, but the pattern again is Softy by Wanda Hayes Etchler. I think that's how you pronounce it. Yeah, it's backwards, of course. So I don't know if I'll use the pattern or not. I will have fun with the yarn for sure though, because it is just so gloriously yummy. Now, another yarny type acquisition type thing is, I mentioned earlier how my friend Sarah gave me a bag full of yarn, a garbage bag full of yarn. A lot of it I am not sure what I'm going to do with. I'm not sure what kind of yarn it is. I gotta do some research on it. However, the yarn that I am going to share with you, I got so much of it. I have enough to make probably a sweater for me, who I am very plus size. There is, let's see if I can get this up, almost 3,000 yards of this fingering weight yarn. And there's 5 different colorways. Each colorway, like this rust one, is I only have one of these, and it's 217 yards. Each skein is 217 yards. This green I have 4 of, and it's a little darker than what's shown. So I have 4 of these. I have 3 of this dark blue, dark green, teal type thing. I have 2 of this greenish blue. And I have 4 of this. Like it's almost a light green. Yeah. Anyway, so I have 3,000 yards of yarn that I am not even sure what I'm going to do with yet. I would like to make a sweater with it because I have enough yarn to make a sweater with it. What would you guys do? If you had 3,000 yards of yarn, 5 different color options, what would you knit? If there's a sweater that you would recommend, I am so open to suggestions. I will ask it again in the thread that I create for the newest podcast later on. So that's another yarny, yummy thing that I got. And like I said, I got a lot more yarn that I just haven't had a chance to go through yet because I don't know all the facts on it, and before I share, I'd like to, know more of the details on it. This yarn, speaking of details, is New England Shetland. It's 100% pure wool, and there is 217 yards on all of these. That's a lot of yardage. I am anxiously waiting to see what I'll make with it, and open to suggestions, of course. So those are that's my loot, my recent loot, I should say. And it's not my recent loot. I have one more thing to share with you, and this is a non-yarny type of thing. I said earlier we're going to talk about nerdy stuff too. And I'm a Magic the Gathering player. It's if you haven't heard of Magic the Gathering, it's a strategy type card game. And I yesterday got the newest, currently the newest fat pack of Eldritch Moon, which was released in July. I got this because I want to build a standard deck, and long story short, you have to have certain cards for a standard deck, and so I wanted to get this to help me build my deck. And so that's my non-yarny loot that I received. I am looking forward to playing my deck and seeing what happens. My husband-ish and I both play, so we play against each other, which is kind of fun. Lots of bickering, well, playful bickering, because he's, either beats me or I beat him, and so that's, that's the way it goes. Next, I'm going to move on to the next topic. I am going to talk about what I'm watching. I'm watching Gilmore Girls. I've never seen all of Gilmore Girls. I've seen just a few episodes here and there, like after school on ABC Family. So I'm actually really enjoying watching it. I find it fascinating. I find it fascinating because Gilmore Girls is an older series, And it's so fascinating to see how things that were really, new and fascinating and popular back then is kind of old and out of, style, out of date now. They're like flip cell phones and just stuff like that. And then I also find it interesting or funny how, some stuff that they predict for the future actually kind of happens. I guess the main example I have is at some point during one of the episodes, Lorelai or Rory talk about Hillary Clinton becoming president. And I'm not a big politics person, so I won't go into much detail about that, but I still find it fascinating how it's something that was discussed, in a television show, a few years ago, and now it's actually, she's actually running. So I find that fascinating. I am sad that Luke and Lorelai broke up at the moment. I love Luke. I think he is awesome and has the biggest heart. At least I think so. So that's kind of what happened right now. I'm in the middle of season 5. I'm pretty sure I'll have all of the Gilmore Girl seasons finished before the mini season release in November. So I can't wait to continue on and see what happens in that story. Another show that I'm watching, and I've talked about this again last week as well, is Fringe. I started Fringe a few years ago now, wow, it's coming on almost 3 years. I was watching it with my late fiance who passed away in a car accident in December 2013. So I never finished it. And I saw that it was leaving Netflix. And so I'm like, well, I need to finish this show. I need to know what happens. And so I picked it up again. I started from the beginning just to rewatch it and get a refresher on what was going on. And then it left Netflix. So I am just looking for other means to watch it. But it's such a good show. I like the fringe science aspect, how, some of that stuff may actually be possible. Who knows? But I find it very interesting. I found it fascinating how there was some crossover between Stranger Things and Fringe. And it might have just been more noticeable to me because I was watching Stranger Things around the same time that I was watching Fringe. Who knows? I'm in the middle of season 4 of Fringe, and I am happy that Peter is back. Angry because nobody knows who Peter is. So that's all I will say about that, just in case any of you decide to watch Fringe at any point in time. Don't want to spoil too much for you. And then the last show that I'm actively watching is Always Sunny in Philadelphia. Ben, my husband-ish, watched that show. Like, he binged it. And he's not one to binge shows. He doesn't really like to watch TV as is. It's usually pulling hair to get him to watch something with me. But he watched this show really, like all of a sudden he was done. I'm like, okay. And so I decided I'd watch it. And we usually watch it while we're eating lunch together. And because we're those, we're that couple that sits in front of the TV to eat, no matter if it's a fancy meal or not. Excuse me. Sorry. And so yeah, so we watch Always Sunny in Philadelphia. It's a pretty funny show. If you haven't watched it, I would definitely give it a shot. It's just some of the things they do in the show are so ridiculous. Like, yeah, so ridiculous. Anyways, that's a good show. I would definitely recommend it to anybody looking for a new show to watch. I am only on season 3, so I guess I'm prematurely recommending the show. But what I've seen so far, I like. So yeah, those are the 3 shows that I'm watching. I kind of want to watch or rewatch Supernatural, so it's kind of on my list to rewatch. Especially since Jared Padalecki was in Gilmore Girls. I'm like, he's also in Supernatural, and he, is awesome. I really like Jared Padalecki, especially now more with his Always Keep Fighting campaign, because I'm somebody who struggles with mental illness. I'm not ashamed to say it. So seeing, somebody, in a more somebody who has more influence, promote and talk about mental illness, it's really awesome. And now I know I kind of sidetracked again. I was just finishing up with what I was watching, and now I'm going to share with you what I'm playing. I don't play video games too often. I'm more of a board game girl. But if I do play video games, it's usually Diablo 3 or The Sims, because I love The Sims. But this morning I decided I wanted to play my game that I got. When did I get it? I got it a few months ago. And I played it for a little bit, and then I'm like, I'm done with it, for now at least. I want to knit or, play something different. Not sure why I completely stopped, but I am playing Yoshi's Woolly World. Everything here is made of yarn, either knitted or some of it looks crochet. And it's kind of, along the same lines as Yoshi's World and stuff. You're collecting yarn balls and flowers, and I love it. It's a bit of a challenge for me because my hand-eye coordination sometimes is not the greatest. Yeah, I can knit. Anyways, but it's fun. It's fun being able to throw yarn balls at things and kill them, and it's fun to just kind of figure out the strategy of the game. So that's one of the big games that I'm playing. I started playing this morning. I'm hoping to continue on to it later on tonight. I also downloaded Candy Crush last night. I know. Candy Crush was a huge phase. Huge popular thing a few years ago. And I was addicted to it then. And then I'm like, okay, no more. I'm done with it. Because it made me angry when I couldn't complete a level. So I re-downloaded it last night because it was 2 a.m. and I couldn't sleep. And so I had already organized my phone and put all the apps into their proper folders, and I still couldn't sleep. So I'm like, well, Candy Crush is an easy game to play at night when Ben is sleeping. I really don't want to knit because I'm too tired to knit, but not tired enough to fall asleep. So I downloaded Candy Crush and played that for a little bit, and then I also started playing again Criminal Case, which I had the app on my phone because for my grandma plays it, and every once in a while she'll need help completing a mission or whatever. So I kept the app on my phone so I could help her when she's playing that game, because my grandma, I just love her. She's the one who taught me how to knit. She means so much to me. I'm very blessed to have her as such an important person in my life. Sidetracked again, sorry. Anyways, yeah, so I started playing Criminal Case again last night when I couldn't sleep. Eventually I fell asleep, and I hope I got enough sleep. So those are the games I'm playing. Nothing, too exciting other than that. Do have a few things that I'm excited for that are coming up. I am mostly excited for the pre-release of Kaladesh this weekend, and that is another Magic the Gathering set type thing, and it being pre-released, so there's a bunch of different tournament games that you can play in, and I hope to at least participate in one of them. I am also looking forward to meeting with some friends to go out for pizza, because the pizza place is so good. It's Stuck's in Neenah. There's also one in Appleton, so if you are a Wisconsin native, I would definitely recommend Stuck's. I think that's all that's going on this week. I think that's all that's going on this week. Sorry. I do want to share with some goals that I share with you. Sorry, really bad at words. I do want to share with you some goals I have until the next time we talk. I want to at least knit another color and a half on my unicorn stripes. I think it's doable. I really do. I also would like to knit at least 20 more rows on my Danish forest. If I could do more, that would be phenomenal. With the hat, I'm hoping to finish it. Hats shouldn't take me 3 weeks to do. It does take people a longer time to do it sometimes, but this is a simple knit hat. I should be able to finish it before next week. And at least get to the heel on my first sack. So I have some goals. What are your goals for the next time I podcast, or the next time, something significant comes up? What are your goals for the month? Knitting or non-knitting related. I really want to learn about you guys. I love meeting new people. I am looking forward to creating relationships with each and every one of you. I think having a support system, not only just knitting related, just life related, is so important. So please don't forget to go to Ravelry and join the Night Owl Knits group. You will be able to find my videos on YouTube, Apple Podcasts, on iTunes, and on thenightowlknits.com. And I will also share my notes in Ravelry and on the thenightowlknits.com. I really hope you guys have a wonderful night, and until the next time the Night Owl knits.